Hello everyone and welcome to another video on Linux series, and in this one we are going to talk about how we can set up a web service on our Linux machine. So what is a website and what is a web server? So all those things we are going to cover in this particular video. So you know that a server is a machine which is configured for a different kind of protocols. Like in the last few videos we talked about the SSH configuration, so that made your machine a server. So in this situation also, we are going to configure HTTP service on our machine that will convert my system into a web server so that I can host a website on my machine, and that can be served for different users who are going to access my web server. So without any delay, let's begin with the configurations of it. So first of all, in order to set up a web service on your machine, you have to install a software. So for that, you have to run a command with sudo privileges or with root permission. Command is apt install Apache 2. So in my case, it is already installed, but in your case, it either will be installed or will be updated. So once it is done, now let's again start the service of it. As we remember, we started the SSH service in the last video, in the last few videos, to configure SSH on our machine. So in the same way, we have to start the Apache 2 service also. So I've started it, and if you want to see the status of it, you can just check it out. And for now, you can see that the service is completely running on our machine. So by default, the Apache service or the HTTP service runs on port 80. So that is what this particular service also running. So now if I go on my browser, on my Windows browser, and before that, we have to check the IP address of our server also. So sorry for the mistake. Let me use the ifconfig command, and the current IP is this one. So I'll just go on to my browser, type the IP and hit enter. So you can see a default page of Apache 2 on your screen, which means that the service is active and running. What if I go here and stop this service? So instead of start, we can run stop. And now if you go back here, paste the IP address. Okay, I have to open a new browser. So let's open a private window because it might be providing me the output from the cache. But now, as you can see, if I hit enter and try to access this website, it will tell me that it's unable to connect. Okay. So because of cookies, I was able to get it here. But like if I tried it on a fresh browser, you can see that I didn't got any response. So after this, now let's minimize it and go back to our Kali machine. And over here, let's again start this service using the start command. And now let's understand in which specific directory the website is hosted. So on Linux machine, the default directory where your web contents are stored is /var/www/html. So let's move to that folder. So this is the location, and this is the home file that you will find on the website. This is the index.html. So what if I delete this index.html? Let's say I remove it. And now if I create another index.html by myself, and I put a HTML document, a simple HTML document over here. So if you do not know about HTML coding, that doesn't make any difference. You can study about it. You can use AI platforms like ChatGPT and other platforms to generate a basic code for you that you can host here. So for now, I'm just using the basics of this language. And for now, I'm just trying to show you how your own code can also be added here. So this is the head section where I'm specifying a title. And let's say the title is my website. So this will be the title, or you can set the title as CyberMX. So this is the end of the title. Now let's start the body here. And I'll end the body over here. And before that, I can add H1 tag for heading. This is a heading, and then you can end it with a closing H1 tag. If you want, you can add a paragraph also. This is a para, and then you can close it. So you can do basic coding here, and that is what I did. I'll save it and exit. And now we have a index.html file present here. Now if I go and try to open this website again, let's try to open it on the private window itself. And if I try to open it again, you can see that the previous page is gone. And now what I can see is I can see a new page where in the title section, Cyberium X is mentioned, as I mentioned there. This is the heading and this is the paragraph. So this is how you can make changes in your own website, which you can host on Kali Linux machine. And this is the location where you can host that file. So this is the thing about this particular file. And let's say you want to change the port of the HTTP service. Like by default, it runs on port 80. But let's say if you want to change it, then you can go to a specific directory, which is etc apache 2, hit ls here. And now over here, we have few specific files here. So we are going to do the configuration in the ports.conf. So I'll just open it on the nano editor. And over here, you can see that it's currently listening on 80, and I'll make it as 88. Let's save and exit. And because we have made some changes in the configuration, so I'll just come back and run the restart command. As you know, when we make some changes in the service, we always restart the service. Now, if I go here and again open the private window, if I refresh it, so you will find that you will not be able to access the website because this time the website is running on port 8080, not on port 80. So how can we mention port 8080 over here is we can put a colon and then specify the port 8080 over here and hit enter. So in this situation, you will be able to access the website. So again, I might have to open a private window and let's try to access it again. Okay, make sure it's not HTTPS. So remove the HTTPS and now hit enter. So you will find that the same content is available on port 8080 this time. Make sure the HTTPS is not present here. It's HTTP on. HTTPS can be configured using SSL certificates that you have to purchase from a certificate authority. So that is a different concept. Okay, so yeah, everything is set. And apart from that, I'm going to show you another technique of hosting a website. You can use a Python server. So how that Python web server can be configured, it's very simple. So I'll use the ls command and you can see all the contents that I have in my present directory. And let's say you want to share some of the files which are available here in the local network. Then how can you share it? You can share it with the help of Python server. So you can type a command like this and mention whatever port you want to mention here. It can be any port like 5555 or something. Now you can go to your Kali machine and again provide your IP address here with the port number as 5555. Let me remove the HTTPS from here and hit enter. You will find all the folders and directories that were present inside that specific directory where I hosted the Python server. Okay, so you can see all those files and directories here. Now if you click on any one, you will see that the files has been downloaded. If you click on it, you can see it's open. If you want to download it, then you can just right click and select save link as, so that this file can be downloaded on your machine. So this is how you can share files using Python web server. Also, if you want to download any of the file in Linux machine, you can use wget command. So for now, because the machine is running on my IP only, so I'll just specify the port number. And let's say I want to download any file which was present here. Let's say any file like groups.xml. So I can just specify the name of the file in the end. So it will download that file for me. And because the file was already present here, so it just made it .1, which is the second version of this file. So this is how you can run a web service on your Linux machine that can be useful while hosting a lot of pages and phishing like stuff you can do later on in this course of CEH. So at that point of time, you will definitely require the concepts of HTTP service. So I hope that this concept is clear to you guys, and just try to practice it. And if you face any problem, you can let us know. So take care, and this is all for this video.
If you want to join the live practical focus training on Kali Linux, then you can contact us on the number shown on the screen.